We all know that plates do move. There are even different movements of plates like the convergence, divergence, and transform. But how do we even know that they are moving? How can we prove it? Well, to answer that, let's start by introducing you to the Continental Drift Theory. According to the Continental Drift Theory, about 250 million years ago, the continents were once large land mass called Pangaea, which in German means all Earth. The theory was first proposed by the German meteorologist named Alfred Wegener. In his book, The Origin of Continents and Oceans, published in 1915, Wegener did not just came up with a theory by just guessing or hypothesizing without any valid evidences to support his claims. Of course, to make it more acceptable to the scientific community, it needs to stand in a strong foundation of proofs and evidences. That is why, today, I will discuss the different evidences of plate movement as well as the evidences of Wegener's continental drift theory. Evidence 1. The Continental Jigsaw Puzzle. I know it's fun to play with a jigsaw puzzle, enhancing the complexity of our minds. But if you've already seen a world map multiple times or even once, and stared at it for a minute, you can probably say that we live in a giant jigsaw puzzle. This is the world map. By observing it, one land masses seems to fit well together if you have a chance to connect it. Well, South America and Africa fits well as India and Antarctica, and Madagascar and Western Africa, and many more. If we can have a chance to connect all of them, it will form a large landmass that contains all of the present islands and continents. Evidence 2. The distribution of fossils. Fossils are preserved remains or traces of organisms from the past. As an example, the fossil of fern Glossopteris were found in 250 million years old rocks in southern India, Antarctica, southern Africa, Australia, and South America. Locations which are so far and somehow unrelated from each other in the present day, but a single species of plant grew and prospered 250 million years ago. But how is that possible? Well, if we go back to the jigsaw puzzle that we saw earlier and mark all the locations that the fossils of Glossopteris were found, we can observe that they can be connected, which at some point proves that they are once connected. And it's not only the Glossopteris, but also the fossils of ancient animals such as Cynognathus, Listosaurus, and Mesosaurus grew and prospered in locations 200 million years ago, which are far and somehow unrelated in the present day. Well, you might say that maybe they just swim across the continents, but no, as a matter of fact, the mentioned animals are poor and weak swimmers. Evidence 3. Rock types and structures. We'll again connect the South America and African continent for the second time. It's not only that they fit well when connected and identical fossils were found in most locations in separate continents, but also the rocks and mountains in West Africa, Congo, and Kalahari in Africa resembled similarly to the mountains in São Luís, San Francisco, and Rio de la Plata in South America, respectively. Evidence 4. The ancient climates. Since we used to assume that the continents are located in different positions 200 million years ago, we can also assume that they have different climates before. Well, ancient glacial deposits were found in the southern hemisphere and India, which means that near the end of the Paleozoic era, which is approximately 300 million years ago, ice sheets covered the extensive areas of mentioned locations. Evidence 5. coal deposits. This somehow connected the ancient climates. Coal deposits, which are basically the corpse of plants and animals that died a million years ago, were found in temperate and polar regions in the present day. However, coal is only found when formed in tropical regions, so we can somehow hypothesize that those present cold regions of the Earth are actually tropical regions millions of years ago, which agrees to the jigsaw puzzle or the Pangea map that we saw earlier. That's all, and thanks for watching.